Now, some tips and tricks on how to study for the exam. I'm using the Texas as an example, but depending on your state, I know some of them require you to go through every chapter. And even if it does, I believe you can still, play the video, listen to it, read through the chapters or skim, and again, play the video, listen to it, because you will need to complete each of these tasks before accessing the chapter. But once you clear these out, my recommendation is to go straight into the chapter and just study/learn from the questions and answers they ask you. For example, an insurance applicant must be informed of an investigation regarding his or her reputation and character according to the. Now, if I had no idea what this was, I'm going to try to use context clues or see if there's something that makes me think of what it could possibly be. So in this case, they must be informed of an investigation regarding reputation. So maybe something in their background. Let's see. I don't see anything about background. Okay. So labor, no, that's standards. How about fair credit? Okay, if you have low credit, maybe that could, mess up your reputation when it comes to uh, seeking jobs in finance. Let's see if it's this one. And it tells you correct, and it explains it. It's a federal law requiring an individual to be informed of that individual if that individual is being investigated by an inspection company. So very similar to a credit card. If you've ever applied for a credit card, you know that they're going to check your credit because they let you know, and that is because of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So now for future if you go back and see this question again, then maybe it'll actually stick and you'll remember it. Now let's continue and do one that isn't correct. So which of the following requires insurance to disclose? Oh, this seems to be the same question as the last one, except now it includes the year. Let's see if we're right. Correct. So it even goes into more detail about this specific law. So sometimes instead of reading through the entire chapter, simply by reading the question and figuring out what the answer might be, you learn it that way, and it's much more simpler. Let's see this. Which of these describe a participating insurance policy? Okay, if they're participating, then maybe they receive something. Okay, companies allow policyholders to share in company earnings. That seems like a lot. They pay assessment for losses, maybe. They're entitled to vote. That seems more serious. I think it's this one. They'll receive dividends, but we're going to use this to see what happens. It's incorrect, but it tells you what the correct answer is. Policy owners are entitled to receive dividends, the one I was thinking. So now you can take note of what you got wrong, write it down so that it kind of you'll retain the information more if you write it down, and find a way to memorize it for yourself. What in this question will remind you that this is possibly the answer? Maybe you start saying, okay, participating means receive dividends, and then you match those two together so that you can start memorizing it that way. And once you finish the chapter, let's say you get all of them wrong, exit, write it down, read through your notes, and go back in. The questions will change, but it'll have more or less the same answers, just different question. And so that's going to help you retain that information as well. When you go into the other chapters, their questions are more, let me see if I can find one. Okay, perfect. Kay pays on a $20,000 20-year endowment policy for 10 years and dies from an automobile accident. How much will the insurance company pay the beneficiary? Okay, 20,000, 20-year for 10 years and dies. I'm going to say it's the 20,000. It's a death benefit. Correct. If the insurer dies before the endowment's maturity, the policy's face value, also known as death benefit, is paid in a lump sum to any beneficiary. Okay, so in this one question, We learned that this is the death benefit, and a 20-year policy, they're just trying to make you confused with this, but they're saying that she's paid it for 10 years. So it's under the 20 years. So that means it was before the maturity. So in this one question, you're learning 3 different types of concepts. So instead of going through the chapter and learning what one thing means, what the next thing means, what the next thing means, in this one question, you've already learned 3 different things. So that's why I think it's more beneficial to actually study while going through the exam. Plus, when you go to actually take the exam, you'll feel a little more comfortable because that's how you were studying. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, we are all here to help. We will also be having classes at the office. Right now, we have them Tuesday, Saturdays, but we will let you know if anything changes, and you can reach out to us to let us know if you want more information.